This is a 100 series or 79 series Land Cruiser diff lock, which is blown up. Anything with 32 splines there, that's when the 100 series came out. They changed from 30 to 32, and in 79 series have got the same rear ends. Now this diff lock simply has got a simple design. This selector ring moves the internal ring over the side gear, which has got a secondary spline. So once that one's locked to the carrier, both sides are locked to the carrier because he mobilises these planetary gears. This side won't differentiate. Now this has had a hard life, this diff lock, that's why it's blown up. The diff lock hasn't been used when it should have been used because all these pinion gears are seized. It's been seized on that cross shaft. You can see the heat that has been generated. One wheel spinning at 200 revs, these little gears rev at 320 revs because they've got 10 and these are 16 teeth. 10, that's 1.6 to 1. So for 200 revs of this, it'll be 320 on the pinion gears. Now, they've all been melted and seized on there. That one has torn it right off. And once that happens, this starts rocking in here. It's like a big crowbar getting twisted back and forth. You can see the raised burrs on the edges of these holes. That's been leverage, and then burst these socket head cap screws off, and one of them obviously got caught between the crown wheel and pinion. There's a bit of damage there, broken teeth. So they're all still in there. They didn't just come loose. They burst off because of the way it's been used. Look at that one, how deep the seize marks are there.
Just hold it still for a sec. Wow. Melted.
Anyway, so if you don't use a diff lock and you're just climbing up steep tracks or in bog situations, spinning one wheel all the time, this will happen all the time. So that's the whole idea of designing this. We designed this diff lock 25 years ago and sold it to TJM. They call it a Pro locker. But someone else had a look at this diff and thought that these bolts had all come loose. Well, they haven't. They're still in the carrier, Loctited in. But we pulled it apart, dismantled it properly to get it to assess it. You've got to chuck a bit of heat on here to break the Loctite, because this is, you know, in this configuration. Where are we? It's in that arrangement. You can't access this carrier unless you take this selector ring off, so you can then lift this off to see what's happened to the cross shaft, and it's plain to see that has been through abusive driving. It's caused the problem. So, if they don't use the diff lock, I don't know why they even put one on. Maybe they did mention that he had a broken line. He mightn't have realised that the diff lock wasn't working, although generally the air compressor keeps on starting and stopping when you've got a line broken, because it won't hold any head pressure in the compressor. The electric solenoid pressure switch keeps on opening and closing as it builds up pressure and shuts off, then it quickly starts again, keeps between 80 and 120 psi, and that's the end result. Alright, well anyway, we can put all that stuff back in this box.
Yeah.
You can see the burr, it's thrown, look at this burr, see this burr? It's thrown a big burr up there. As soon as the cap bolts, the head started busting, think the other one of them is in here, isn't it? Here it is here. Hey? It's come off. Once one breaks and another one breaks and another one, they gradually all just start popping off. That's just an all lift off at once. If you keep on driving it, you would have heard when this all started bursting these, it would have, because this would have all been going a bit like that, you'd hear a growl coming out of this crown and pinion, but these blokes just keep on driving and driving until the thing stops. Won't go any further than the arse of the car has to be lifted up to move it even. But that was, yeah, that's, so anyway, it's quite simple to see what's happened. Now it's been handled. I send them that.